engineer, and I'm also in charge of the onboarding and training of new employees and interns as well. So for a little bit of time in my career at Chiopris, I've taken care also of hiring. So I've seen a lot of students passing by. So I guess I need a bit to introduce where I'm working, what I'm doing. So Chiopris started as a crazy idea from somebody pretty much 10 years ago. That crazy person was actually my CEO. I shouldn't say it loud. But actually, the concept behind this whole idea of 3D printing used as a manufacturing tool, it was because back then there was some sort of feeling of limitation in the creative world about potentials to hold back. And he felt that this technology could have fulfilled somehow this lack of opportunities. So from Philips, he started spreading a bit this word about 3D printing technologies, and in the end they decided that it was worth an attempt. It was definitely worth an attempt to invest in it. So the mission turned out to be like redefining completely the product creation. So from what we were used to know about manufacturing technology, to turn it into something definitely full of potential and much more creative. And Chiopris, so the company where I work, but we are not, of course, alone. I'm not going to mention my competitors, of course. But we are alone. We are a platform that allows the creation and the printing of everything you have in mind. So this is also a platform that is not only for people that know about 3D modeling, but it's a platform for people that are interested in 3D printing, interested in the potential of it, interested in the creativity of others beside their own. But this also is a platform where you can use tools to create objects that talk about yourself, talk about who you are customizable product that you can easily produce for yourself. So, as I said, Chiopris was born as a spin-off of Philips in Philips Incubator. Maybe some of you are familiar with the group. And this happened in 2007. So it turned out now, well, this year we're gonna actually, it's gonna be officially this year that we're gonna celebrate our 10th anniversary, so big party. And it's indeed a 3D printing service and a marketplace where everyone can create, buy, sell the product that they do or that they like. So, just to give you a bit of an idea of how the company grew up over time, when in 2007 indeed we were in the high-tech campus that is outside Eindhoven, for who is not familiar with the city. And then as of the year after, so 2008, there was the first possibility of uploading your own 3D models and start printing it. Of course, there was not even one printer in the location, so it was a little office, very tiny, little resources, 3 people, not more. In 2009, we started selling and making a bit of profit out of what we were creating. In 2010, they decided to put one location, the headquarters, in New York. Also because in 2010 was the year that we got the first batch of investment from the States. Actually, in 2011, I started, so 2011, sorry for the joke. And in 2012, we started actually investing in Long Island City for their first manufacturing facility in the States. While the one in Eindhoven was already, we moved, I think, from the high-tech campus around 2010, and we were in a little office, so 2 floors. The downstairs was pretty much distribution and a few machines, really few machines. Upstairs, only office, we were in 25. It's 2018, we are 250, just to give you an idea of how fast we grew up. And in 2014, we opened our Eindhoven factory, so you're all welcome if you want to visit it. is quite huge. It was needed, the move, because we weren't fitting anymore in the previous location. And we needed to expand, we needed to invest on new technologies, new materials, etc. So this is the point we are now. We have in Seattle some location for like software developers, technological back-end stuff. New York is our CEO, finance, and a few other departments. LIC manufacturing, supply chain, and customer service. Eindhoven, pretty much the same, but we have in the States we have split it. In Eindhoven we are all together. That makes the work much more fluid and much more efficient. And then in Mumbai we have a few colleagues that take care only on the manufacturing side to help us out. So the concept, as you might have understood already, is based on making your own product, thinking of something, upload your design, we take care of 3D printing it, and then you ship it, and then you will get it at home. The same goes for selling. You have a great idea, you tried it out, you print it out, you like it, could be a cover for your new phone, something that only you can have, and then you're going to upload the design and sell it, because maybe other people in this planet like your design and want to have the same cover as you have, maybe has the same name. Why not? So, I don't know if it's possible to see the video somehow, because I think it's nice just to give you an insight.
Tech support!
Hit the next button?
I don't know, I think that's enough.
Okay.
Oh, computer's over there.
Yeah, that's all we need to do. Yes.
Oh, ze zal niet zo goed. Nee, maar goed, ze zal zo.
Nou,
This video will give you pretty much an insight of what we're doing every day, and you're going to notice how much we are still using our hands in the whole process.
As humans, we always strive to create, to build something that will solve a problem or meet one of our needs. Knowledge. Knowledge.
Nothing ever works.
No, it's fine.
Except for 3D.
I wouldn't say that.
als het kan.
disconnected our Wi-Fi.
All some of the design in your head, and it's impossible. It's one that's as soon as possible.
I'm not a designer, but now that I've seen the possibilities of this technology, you start to see the world differently, and you start to reimagine the objects around you.
People are taking the power of creation in their own hands.
Boom, open up your little skull, pull out your idea, create it. That's what Shapeways does in a nutshell.
3D printing is a way of making things element by element additively. The things that we're designing, we can't make any other way.
I can make objects bigger, smaller, stranger. There's no limit to the variation you can apply.
I suddenly realized how much I was restrained by a lot of technologies that were around before.
When something new comes to this home, she asks, have you bought it or have you made it?
If you look around us, we can buy any product we need to do whatever we want. What's missing, however, is our personal input into those products.
You have an idea, and then in the mail, the idea comes sort of as an object, and that's never existed before.
As a designer, you can concentrate on making the best object, the best product that you can, and Shapeways does the rest.
So we can make one of something and test it out. And all of this doesn't make any difference because there's no tooling, there's no molding.
There's no investment for designing. It means that they can innovate faster. There's no penalty for innovation.
This gives rise to a whole new way of solving problems.
It's mind-blowing to think that we can build something today that was literally impossible yesterday.
Very nice promotional video, but besides that, what was very important for you to see in this video is how much we used to interact still with the material. And that's something that in the education I see, at least in the country where I come from, is one of the first things that we are dropping, the contact with the material, the contact with tools. So, keeping this on the back of your mind, I will tell you a bit about the core values of our company. So, imagine that the average age of the company is 30 years old. So, we have from the 19 to max 50 years old employees, and we can really count them with one hand. And the core values are mostly related to everything our emotions. So as you see, they define the way we're working, the reason why we're working, and the way we cooperate with each other. So we have enabling, inspiring, personal, and fun. So in that, enabling is because we are working really close together to achieve a common goal. And this is really felt because being in the same building, being in the same location, creates a very strong bond between departments. There are no true hierarchies within the company. So everyone really feels that the investment in time and effort put in what everyone is doing on a daily basis have a lot of impact in everyone else's work. Inspiring, because we try to inspire each other, we try to be a good example for each other, we try to help and solve problems, and we actually think that every mistake we are doing is an opportunity to learn something new. When I started, the 3D printing, let's say, didactic approach was pretty much non-existing. Nobody knew much about 3D printing, even myself that I have the industrial design background. So everything we learned was just by doing. The first machine press, plenty, every day pretty much, was an occasion to learn more about the machine. So we test, we learn by doing. And that's what actually we are currently doing. Of course, we're not doing the same mistake as a few years back, but we have some more ones. Every day we do some more ones. Personal, we try to treat each other with absolute respect and thinking that no matter what your background is, you still have knowledge and skills that are valuable for everyone else in the company. So even if there is a lot of manual work involved, pretty much every one of us have a bachelor or a master's degree. So this doesn't mean that we refuse to make our hands dirty or that that we get covered of powder or oil or whatever. Fun. Well, it's a young company and we absolutely need to keep the mood up. So we find our way to enjoy it with a lot of activities. So when we are hiring people, this is also, and actually when we do our own HR reviews, these are also points that are always absolutely crucial. The action-oriented, so taking new opportunity and challenges as an opportunity to learn, but also have the feeling of urgency and need of improvement. Collaborate. If you don't work together with your team, if you are the black sheep, you're going to be easily excluded, and that's absolutely what we don't want to happen. So we really try to enable everyone to give his input in what we are doing. Customer focus. Everything we do, from the checking of a product that comes in that is ordered by a user, till the moment that leaves the factory, there is like a super deep check on the quality and what we are providing to our customer. Because, I mean, customers are the only reason why we are there, and we want to make them happy. Drive results. We have to have the, let's say, the push, not only ours, but we definitely should encourage our colleagues to always figure out a way to make it work. Even in pressure period like Christmas, for instance, when everyone drives nuts in ordering stuff. Ensure accountability. Everyone feels very engaged in what he's doing and committed, and needs to feel like that. Otherwise, it's not worth to work in a company like this one. Nimble learning, that says a lot. Active learning through experimentation. As I said, when I started, was a daily task. Every time there was a different problem, every time a different way to solve it. Still, we have plenty of problems. Still we have potential of improvements everywhere. Tech saving, of course. I mean, we are an IT company, so we expect the new hire to be interested in the technology and to push it as far as we can. So overall, these are the side skills that for some reason we find extremely valuable, are not written anywhere, but it's always a plus. So what we expect also from students when they join for internship or new employees is this: to be flexible, to have the sense of innovation, the urge of like implementing and improving things, being proactive, take initiative. Absolutely, that's one of the key points that is like what drives all the changes within our company. Of course, have a feeling of spatial awareness, have a feeling of 3D modeling, have a feeling of what we are doing. Communicational skills, absolutely. We used to give each other feedback on a daily basis, no matter if are good or bad. That's, I mean, we are learning and we are very open and transparent. So one of the key points is also enable this communication. So as a side thing to keep our work a bit more fun, we decided to implement last year the Spark Award. So basically, it's a sort of prize that we give to our three employees on a quarterly basis, and consists of a $2,000 grant to spend in education. So they can choose to rather follow a course about to drive a lift or a truck or whatever. But also it could be that you choose to follow, for instance, a course of lean manufacturing or Six Sigma. And it doesn't really matter which kind of department you're working in, because we are just trying to make sure that you have all the possibilities to improve yourself, to grow as a professional, not only personally, but also as a professional. So this actually has been quite a success, and people are using them pretty fast, all these 2,000. Then we implemented as of this year for all the new hire and all the new intern. After the second week of training, we offered this course. It's with a free software, and we basically encourage to experience the whole ordering process, the creation, the ordering, the production, and the receiving of the project and the product they make. This is a way, indeed, to create awareness, to create much more engagement with the work they will be doing. And also this one has been quite a success. We also gave, of course, the availability of a little budget of expense. But yeah, this was another way to push everyone to feel more engaged. And then, of course, we have the part that probably is the part that concerns you the most, and is about the onboarding and the internships and everything that comes new in our company and everyone. So, concerning the internship, students come from different backgrounds, because we have students from technical backgrounds, engineers or designers, but also less technical background, more business like oriented or whatever. And what we have tried to do is to fulfill the needs of school, because of course they have assignments, of course they have projects to finish, of course they need to deliver a report, and we are perfectly aware. So what we do is to assign these students to a specific department. There are, of course, supply chain, HR department, manufacturing. So we try to put students in the department that fits their interest, their curiosity the most. So each student, the first week is paired with a senior employee. So we make sure that they completely understand the entire process. For instance, if they start working in the department where I'm working, they will spend 2 weeks with their hands in the dirt, learning everything. We are gonna really throw them in the deep. They absolutely need to know the entire process. Plus, each student will be paired also with a tutor. So, at the beginning we thought that our team lead were the most suitable candidate for it. But the team lead were also not spending a lot of time in production. So, we thought then that one of the team members could have been the tutor of one of these students. Because most of the team members have a background that is connected with their study path. So, each student is also paired with a team member to develop the project. Of course, always fulfilling the requirements of the school. And then, as of a few months back, we created a project portfolio. At the beginning, when students were approaching Shapeways, we were deciding together what the student could have been doing within his internship. That was great, but sometimes students didn't have any clue of what they wanted to do. They didn't know even the company or what was their field of interest. So what we try to do is being a bit more proactive and offering a range of projects and let them pick the one that they found more suitable for their school path or their interest or their curiosity. And this is also a way to simplify the connection with school, because sometimes the school is not aligned on the way we work with the students, because we agreed that 2 days per week they can work in project, 3 days they have to go to production. So we try to involve them as much as we can. Onboarding. We have 2 kinds of onboarding. One is for full-time employees and one is for interns. Originally there was absolutely no difference, because we expect also interns to be fully involved in whatever we are doing. Now we're trying to change it a bit, and we're trying to simplify the life of our interns, starting actually from the part of the process that we'll be working on the project, and start giving them first a lot of, let's say, training on one specific part, and then with the time we can fulfill all their labs. For the full-time employees, indeed, we have 2 weeks of training given by the senior employee. We start developing, after a few courses, a few insights, external insights, many external insights, digital and paper material that the trainers and the trainee can keep during these 2 weeks and afterwards, so that they can always find a place where to look for information if they forget some steps, if they forget some details, because this job is also made out of details, a lot. In these 2 weeks, they also getting HR orientation. So actually the first day they are filled up of meetings. That's not pleasant, but they need to get information about house rules, what they can, what they cannot do, what we offer, what we expect. Then we have the customer journey presentation. So they will get also an introduction by customer service about the entire process and what is the impact of what they are doing on the customer side. Because most of the time, the feeling we have, especially if we work in a manufacturing department, is that the customer for us become a number, a production order. And the only way that the customer interact with us, usually, is only when we receive complaints. That's not very inspiring, fun, or enabling. I totally understand. But that's why we try to offer always an external view of the entire process and make them understand that even the most tiny mistake can really ruin the mood of someone. So we offer, as I said, creative workshop, as I showed you before, and the knowledge and education department, that is the one that I'm running together with other 2 colleagues of mine, is indeed in charge also of giving an introduction to the new employees about what we are doing and tell them all the information they need, be their reference point for the first 2 weeks. So that's at least what we are trying to do. Of course, we have plenty of work to do, so we're trying our best. So this is pretty much the conclusion. This is what we expect when students come out of school. This is the kind of mindset we expect from the student when they come out of school. That's what we would like to see. And sometimes we are lucky, sometimes we are less lucky. But I think that these are a few points that would help you to design the new processes, the new curriculum. So, any questions? Yes.
I'm curious how much of a student's academic record is about, because I saw all the things that are desired.
Yeah.
How much of their academic record as far as academic performance and school accomplishments when considering for hire?
It depends. It really depends what they, yes. And it really depends on what they want to learn. Because sometimes students finish in a very early stage of their education path. Sometimes they finish their bachelor and they think that, I don't know, maybe they want to do just a few months just to see how it works. Sometimes they are just students that are fed up of spending time at school and they just want to start working, and then when they start working they regret that they left so early. That's also another option. So it really depends. It depends on what they want for themselves and what they want to develop. We are trying really hard to engage them and make sure that what they are doing within the company is fulfilling their personal needs. So that's something we established pretty much at the very beginning. So that's why also we decided at the beginning in which department they would fit best. But yeah, the one that I usually deal with are all in the tech, with the tech background. Yeah. Any other questions?
Yeah, so you mentioned that there, in the past, students just came to you, to Chiopris, without actually any clue of what they were going to do there or what they were going to do after. They just wanted to do something at Chiopris, and that's more or less the only motivation. So when you showed how you tackle that, is it still common things, or do you still get those students? And actually, yeah, do you like that?
Well, I think, let's start like this. First of all, when I started working for Chiopris, I didn't even have any clue of 3D printing. I was desperately needed for a new job, and I found an opportunity, and I thought it was something pretty interesting, so I decided to join. I guess many like me that are working there for quite some time now wouldn't have been hired now, I guess. But besides this, we have students that have no clue. But they have no clue about how we work in the company. But maybe they are super interested in the 3D modeling, in the 3D market, or they heard about it, or they just wanted to do a cool experience. And 3D now become almost a hype in the sense of for who likes this kind of thing. So even if they don't have clue, but we see that the mindset is the right one. Even if like not all the competencies or the skills are there, because we don't expect to hire people like with Gates. We expect to hire people that want to grow their potential within the company. So we are really, if we just see that there is a spark, we are just happy to invest in it. But of course, there must be the motivation there.
Can you give some examples of what they make?
Students or
anyone?
Customers as well, or
yeah.
You mean when they use Shapeways as a service, or specifically? Both. Well, our users go from the engineers to the architects to various range of people interested in everything. So we have students, for instance, that are interested in jewelry, and they start designing jewelry product, and they want to have the prototype before they start doing all the expensive objects. Sometimes we have students that make their maquettes for school, especially architects. They find it extremely useful. Sometimes we have students that just simply, as soon as they have the opportunity, they design their new iPhone cover because they find it nice to do. I can't blame them. We have students that are studying engineering, and for instance, now we have an intern that is about to finish. He came from Spain, and he is helping us out to automate one part of the post-production of the product. So after they're printed, all what comes afterwards, and he started designing some parts to add to one of our machines, and use our technologies to print them.
So you're democratic. I mean, you don't decide that this is not interesting for us and this
Absolutely
is.
not.
No.
We are a service. So whatever the customer wants, we are going to print. The only limitation we give to our customer is on a technical base. So there are some limitations depending on the material. So we know that some thicknesses, some dimensions are not really suitable for the printing process. So the only thing we give as a feedback is, watch out, we can't print this product because it's way too thin or way too big or whatever.
Do you also do like things for like medical uses, you know, protheses or
no.
Or
no, there are some companies that are much more specialized
in that.
Yeah, also because the sort of material that are needed for that parts are completely different than the one we are using. For us, it's more like a mass consumption, say.
You mentioned that you feel like certain people would have been hired now versus then.
Yeah.
And it sounds like one of the things that happens when you have people who are maybe a little less qualified is they're a little more humble, they're more teachable, they have to depend on each other. Is there ever a fear as the company gets bigger and scales that you would miss out on some of the value of having the type of person you used to hire?
No. Actually, it's quite, it's one of our strongest points. We don't really hire less qualified people. I mean, it's really hard to, if you work on a daily basis in my company, it's really hard if you put all of us in a line to figure out who has a bachelor or a master or any sort of qualification, because everyone is triggered so much to learn things and in a constant, like, rushing way that there is really not a big split. What I was talking about is that years ago, when there was no educational path on 3D printing, a lot of us just needed to learn just by doing. And one of my colleagues was an architect. I was an industrial designer. Another colleague of mine was a chemical engineer. So we were coming from totally different backgrounds, but still, we have learned a lot from each other. And we still learn a lot by doing. Nowadays, there are some courses. Nowadays, they have much more opportunity to know things. So when they start working for us, we have some sort of expectation that they were not used to have when we started, because it was a learning process completely, from a different starting point. So the core values are still there. It's just the content of the background that is changed. Anyone?
Yeah. I'm curious. Do you have any products in your market that are used in education market? Can you have an example?
Ooh. That's a difficult one.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's a
Not
good
yet.
question.
Not yet.
And the other way around? I mean, is it possible to use Chiopris in education? I mean, if
Yes.
there's like a class and you want to do design assignments.
I know in New York they are working together with the public library for educational courses with students or also with people interested in the topic. So we are investing in that way. In Europe, the department is starting up now, the marketing department related to education. So we are working in that direction as well. We are definitely working in that direction. If you want to know more about that, I would really recommend you to send a mail here, because we have some definitely more expert than me, that can give you some insights about that, about relationship between education and institutions. Yeah. We were used to offer grants to students as well to create their products. That's our way to approach it. But I will think of the product. Now you trigger a goal here. Okay. Anyone else? No?
Okay. So, thank you.